I'll be explaining the code of depth first traversal. So given an undirected graph as an input, and the output which we need to print is the DFS of this graph. Okay, so we'll consider 0 as a starting vertex. Like we need to traverse the graph, traverse each vertex from vertex 0. Okay, so I have represented this graph in a form of adjacency list. Okay, so if we see this, like I have created a main function and have created a class of a graph. Okay, so from scratch I have implemented a graph. I have created a class of a graph, then created constructors, and have made instance member function, that is add edge function and DFS function. So in my previous videos, like I have already explained how we can implement a graph from scratch using adjacency list, but right now the main focus will be on this DFS function. So DFS function will be a recursive function, because we know that in order to implement DFS of a graph we need to use recursion. And in my previous video, I've explained DFS tree, or how we can use stack data structure to print DFS of a graph. So right now we'll be concentrating on how to write code. Okay. So come to the main function. In main function, like I have created this graph. So this graph is nothing but this graph. Okay. Which is an undirected graph. I've created a visited array. This visited array will mark true for visited vertex, and initially it will be false. Okay, now my output will be the DFS starting from vertex 0. Like we can start from any vertex, no problem. Okay, so I'll be calling this DFS function, and inside this DFS function, this is my starting vertex, this is my visited array, and this is my size of that visited array. As there are 4 vertices, so the size of visited array will be 4. Okay, now we'll go to our recursive DFS function. Okay, so this is the main recursive DFS code, and it is very simple. Okay, so as we are passing the value using call by value, so int s initially will be 0. Boolean visited array will be an array where all the values will be false. So index number is the vertex, and it will be initialized using false value. Okay, as no vertex has been visited now, and this is the size of this visited array, which will be 4. That is the number of vertices. So now first of all I'll mark the vertex, the visited, inside visited array I'll mark int s, which is 0, as true. Okay, so I'll mark it as true, and I'll print this because this is our starting vertex, and it will be a part of our output because we have started it from this. So I'll print this 0 and start iterating for its adjacent vertices. So if we see this list, the adjacent vertices that are connected to this vertex is 1 and 3. So this iterator, what it will do, it will start traversing this section. Okay, so it will start traversing this section, adjs.begin and adjs.end. So in iterator, begin and end functions are there, which basically marks the starting and the ending position of a list or of a vector. So the end position will be the last cell. Suppose this is the last cell. The cell after this last cell will be dot end location. So it will start from adjs dot begin. So adjs means this vertex, zero vertex. Dot begin means this one. To dot end means this one. So it will start traversing this. Star IT. So star IT is a iterator which will which will mark, like which will start from this vertex 1. So this visited, and inside this star IT, it means value pointed by iterator. So the value is 1. So we will check whether visited of 1 is true or false. So it is false. It means we have not visited vertex 1. So what it will do is that it will make a recursive call and start exploring vertex 1. So it will make a recursive call and start exploring vertex 1. Now int s change from 0 to 1. Now again we'll mark visited of 1 as a true. Okay. We'll print 1 as our output and start exploring vertex 1. So again we need to iterate it. Again we need to iterate the adjacent vertices of vertex 1. So first 0 will come. So star IT will point to value 0. Like the value of star IT will be 0. So visited of 0 equals to false. So it is false because already we have visited. So visited of 0 is equals to true. So our condition is opposed. Now it will iterate for the next adjacent vertices. So next is 2. So it will check whether visited of 2 is visited or not. So if we see this visited array, we find that it's not visited. So it will make a call for vertex 2. So now again it will make a DFS call for vertex 2. So int s will change from 1 to 2 and start exploring this vertex 2. So we'll mark this vertex 2 inside visited array as true, and we'll print this vertex 2 in our output part. And again we'll start iterating all the adjacent vertices connected to vertex 2. Again we'll make a call for unvisited vertex, that is vertex 3, and start exploring the adjacent vertices from vertex 3. Okay, so right now, like, there is no vertex available to explore. So what it will do is that it will just return to the caller. Again it will return to the caller. Again it will return to the caller, and at last it will return to the caller of this DFS function, this recursive function. The caller of this DFS function is the main function, and it will complete its execution. So basically this is a flow of a DFS of a graph. Okay. So suppose our input is a directed graph. Okay, so we have done DFS of an undirected graph, but now suppose there is a directed graph. So this is a simple graph, and we need to print DFS of this graph. So suppose our starting vertex is 0. Okay, our starting vertex is 0. Now if we carefully look at this graph, we find that from 0 it is not possible to move to adjacent vertices, as because now the edges are directed, and from 0 there is no out degree. There is no edge connecting to any other vertices pointing outwards with respect to vertex 0. Okay, so in order to handle this type of graph in the main function, while calling for vertex 0, what we need to do is that we need to write for loops. Okay, we need to write for loop. The reason is, okay, suppose we have included this for loop, our I is 0. visited I is false. Initially inside visited array, all the value will be false, and index number indicates the vertex number. So initially all the value will be false. Okay, and suppose my starting vertex, source vertex, I'll start traversing it from 0. So visited of I equals to false. Yeah, it's true. Now it will go and call DFS. Okay, so the logic inside DFS is same, that we need to do recursive workflow inside this DFS. We need to iterate its adjacent vertices. If we found any unvisited vertex while traveling its adjacent vertices, we will make a call for that unvisited vertex and start exploring it. Okay, the logic is same. So if we see, like we have called it for vertex 0, in this for loop, what it will do is that it will not execute its statement. Why? Because there is no adjacent vertices available for vertex 0. So it will return to the caller, like it will return to the caller of this DFS. Okay, this statement will not get executed because no adjacent vertices are there. So what it will do, it will return to the caller. So before returning, like it will first mark this visited of 0 as true. It will mark this as true. It will print 0 as an output part, and it will return to the caller of this recursive function. So the caller of this recursive function is this one. Okay, so the caller of this recursive function is this one. So it will iterate further. Now for I equals to 0, we have visited this vertex. Now I will change from 0 to 1. So we need to check whether visited of I is false or it's true. So if we see visited array, we find that it's false. So we will make a call for 1. So instead of having 0 over here, we need to write this as g.dfs I visited and size. Okay, so like for 0 we have already visited and we found that there is no adjacent vertex. Now this loop will iterate and will change the value of 0 to 1. Now again we'll call this same recursive function for value 1, and from 1 the only vertex which we can traverse is 0, and we find that 0 is already visited. So again it will return to the caller and it will iterate and it will change its value from 1 to 2. So this loop will help us in case of directed graph. Okay, this loop will help in case of directed graph. And moreover, if any disconnected graph is there, like suppose this is my uh, first graph. Okay, this is my first graph and this is my second graph. So I need to print DFS of this two graph. So basically this is known as a disconnected graph. Like from one vertex you can't move to, you can't have a path. Like suppose this is vertex 3 4, vertex 4. So from 1 I need to reach to 4, so we can't reach, there is no path available. So it means that the graph is disconnected. So in order to print the DFS of disconnected graph, what we need to do is that we need to use this for loop concept. Okay, we need to use this for loop. Total number of vertex available is 1 2 3 4 5. Basically 5 vertex is there. It will start from this, it will print DFS of this. Now after printing DFS of this, it will mark it as visited, that is visited will be true. Now this loop will change the value and it will help to point to this vertex. Now again we'll find DFS of this. Okay, and we'll print all the vertex as an output console. So in order to handle disconnected graphs, in order to handle directed graphs, we have to add this additional for loop so that we can print DFS of those graphs. I hope this makes sense to you.